Okay, so next, let's move forward to the second part of this topic, which is all about the sex-linked disorders. So like mentioned earlier in the first part of the video, sex-linked disorders are actually hereditable, meaning um, they can be passed on from parent to offspring. So namamana na siya. It is inherited kung meron yung parent, one of the parents has this disorder, there is a possibility or there is a chance that the offspring can also get this disorder. Pero what I will be emphasizing in this video is that not all disorders are inherited by the offspring. There are certain conditions that has to be met before the offspring will inherit these disorders. And we will talk about those conditions in detail later on as we go dito sa ating slide. So, on the picture here for sex-linked disorder, what I'm trying to emphasize is the idea that what you inherit as the offspring is a combination of the genes of your mother and of your father. So if you will see here, this is actually a Punnett square. So balik tayo doon sa Punnett square and monohybrid crosses and the idea of Mendelian and non-Mendelian genetics. So half of the genes that you are inheriting comes from your mother, and half of the genes actually come from your father. So your mother has two X chromosomes. That's why you see here on this side, you have two red X chromosomes. Whereas coming from your father, you will be inheriting another X chromosome, and then we have one here, the green one, which is your Y chromosome. So for every fertilization that occurs, there is a possibility, 50%, that the offspring will be a female, and 50% that the offspring will be a male. So it's always a 50-50 chance. Okay? Kasi nga, half of the genes in this part, in this woman, one of the X chromosome comes from the mother, and one of the X chromosome comes from the father. The same here, one comes from the mother and one comes from the father. For this child, the X comes from the mother and the Y comes from the father, and the same here. If you are more familiar with the idea of Punnett squares, yung normal na ginagawa nating Punnett square. So I will be drawing or I will be writing here sa ating board. Pero pagpasensyahan nyo na lang yung sulat to. Mas maayos to pag face-to-face. Pero for now, since I'm using a drawing tablet, medyo high ba siya? Mahirap siya. Okay? So, here, for example, this is your mom's gene. Oops, wait lang. Bakit siya naka-laser point? Okay, let's try to annotate. Okay. So, for example, this is your mom's gene, X and another X chromosome. And this is your father's gene, an X chromosome and a Y chromosome. So this is what a traditional Punnett square looks like. For those of you who still remember, this is actually a topic from grade 8 and grade 9 science. Okay, so this is coming from your father, and this is coming from your mother. So if we're going to cross them, itong X na to coming from the mother side will go here. It will be combined with the X chromosome coming from the father. So we result in a girl. And then the X chromosome here will go here, coming from the mom, and then the Y chromosome will come from the father. So again, it's 50-50. It's a combination of your mom and dad. This time, it will result in a male. Pagdating dito sa baba, one X chromosome coming from the mom, and then one X chromosome coming from the dad. So we result in another female. And then the same here, one X chromosome coming from the mom, and then one Y chromosome coming from the father. So we are still resulting 50% will result to a female and half of the time pwedeng mag-produce ng male. But regardless if it is a male or female, half of your genes come from your mom or comes from your dad. So in the case of a female, dalawa yung X chromosome niya. One of the X chromosomes come from the father and one of the X chromosome come from the mother. In the case of a male, X and Y chromosome siya. Yung X, of course, comes from the mom, and then the Y chromosome comes from the father. So in this case, if you will see, mas marami yung tinatawag nating X chromosome. Dito sa picture, kung mapapansin ninyo, tatlo yung X chromosome niya dito. Isa, dalawa, and then tatlo. So when it comes to sex-linked disorders, if you will be siguro makikita niyo or mapapansin niyo later on that majority of the disorders are actually coming from the X chromosome. Okay? So ang carrier niya lagi or usually yung disorder nandoon sa X chromosome kasi mas malaki yung X chromosome, so mas mataas yung risk or yung possibility na nagkakaroon ng mutation sa X chromosome compared sa Y chromosome, napakaliit niya dito. So, dahil maliit siya, mas lesser or mas mababa yung risk niya na magkaroon ng disorder. Pero, even if most of the disorders are actually in the X chromosome, medyo swerte naman yung babae on this part. Kasi dahil dalawa yung X chromosomes niya, there are certain kinds of disorders or diseases na hindi siya nagsasuffer kasi dalawa yung X chromosome niya. So, kailangan both of the X chromosomes has to have the mutated gene. So, kailangan infected both of the X chromosomes before mo masabi na may sakit ang isang babae. Whereas, when it comes to the male, kasi iisa lang yung kanyang X chromosome, automatic, pagka infected na yung kanyang X chromosome, automatic na yon yung lalaki is suffering from that disorder kasi wala na siyang additional na X chromosome to balance it out. We will look at this later on more detailed and more clearly as we go to the different examples of sex-linked disorders. Okay, so let me go to my next slide. Okay, so we have different kinds of sex-linked disorders. So meron tayong tinatawag na autosomal dominant. We have the autosomal recessive. We have the X-linked dominant. We also have the X-linked recessive. And then, of course, we have the Y-linked disorder. Okay? So, ang ito-topic or i-discuss ko specifically for this lesson is itong may mga asterisk, itong tatlo. So, I will be discussing autosomal dominant. I will also discuss autosomal recessive. And then, I will also discuss X-linked recessive. Okay, so ito yung may mga specific examples or cases tayo that we will be specifically talking about in this recorded video. Okay, so first, let's go to what we call as your X-linked recessive. Okay, so when we say X-linked recessive, ibig sabihin, yung disorder niya is a recessive trait. When we say kasi recessive trait, hindi siya ganun sa usual na nag-a-appear. For example, kapag sa hair color, ang common na hair color ng Asians or Filipinos in particular is black. So usually black hair is the dominant trait. So mas common siyang nagmamanifest or mas maraming tao ang ipinapanganak na merong black genes for the hair color. Pag recessive kasi hindi siya masyadong nagmamanifest sa phenotype ng mga tao. Okay? So when it comes to X-linked recessive, ibig sabihin, the trait is actually or the disorder is actually carried by the X chromosome. Pero dahil recessive siya, for a woman to be called or to be classified as what we call this as infected by the disease, it means kailangan meron siyang dalawang copies of the trait. Okay? So meron tayong tatlong definition or tatlong bagay na kailangang tandaan when it comes to X-linked recessive. So, meron tayong mga tinatawag na affected. Okay. Meron tayong tinatawag na affected. Meron tayong tinatawag na carrier. At saka meron tayong tinatawag na unaffected or a normal person. Okay? So, pag affected, ibig sabihin, ito yung mga tao who are suffering from the disorder. May mga symptoms sila na nagmamanifest ng mga disorders na yon. And kung may mga, sila yung may mga sakit na tao. Whereas, itong mga carriers na to, wala silang sakit, but they are carrying the gene. Ibig sabihin, nasa genes nila yung disorder na yon, pero hindi nila dinidisplay or hindi sila nagmamanifest ng symptoms and they are not suffering from the symptoms of the disorder. So, maaaring nandun lang sa loob ng katawan nila, pwede nilang ipamana sa kanilang magiging anak. Pero sila mismo, they are not suffering from the disorder. And then, of course, we have the normal. Itong normal, ibig sabihin, wala talaga siyang copy nung disorder na yon. So, wala siyang sakit, wala siyang symptom dahil wala siyang copy nung mutated gene na meron nung disorder. So, sa lalaki, ang itsura ng kanyang genes na affected is this. For example, let's use the letter S for the disorder. For example, sickle cell anemia. So, ito ang itsura ng kanyang affected. So, sabi natin, X-linked recessive. Ibig sabihin, yung disorder ay nandito sa X chromosome. So, dahil iisa lang yung X chromosome ng males, automatic, pag meron siyang isang copy nung disorder na yon, automatic siya na ay considered as affected. Walang lalaki na pwedeng i-consider as a carrier. Kapag lalaki ka, it's either you are normal or you are affected with the disorder. Kasi nga, lalaki only has one copy of the X chromosome. Whereas, sa babae, dalawa ang copies niya ng X chromosome. So, for a woman to be considered as affected with this disorder, dalawa ang kailangan niyang copy of the disorder. So, both X chromosome has to carry the mutation para masabi mong may sakit siya or affected siya by the disorder. Whereas, pag isa lang ang copy nung disorder na yon, isang X chromosome lang ang may copy, ibig sabihin, hindi siya affected. Yung babae ay isang carrier. So, meron siya sa loob ng gene, pero hindi siya nagmamanifest ng symptoms at hindi siya nagsasuffer doon sa sakit. Then, of course, we also have a normal woman. So, although most of these disorders are carried by the X chromosome, swerte ng babae na dalawa ang X chromosome natin because there is a possibility that maliit yung chance na maging affected tayo by the disorder. Mas malaki yung chance na it's either you are normal or you are a carrier. Okay? So, for example, let's look at the picture here. Yung father is unaffected. Okay? Ibig sabihin, ng unaffected, ibig sabihin siya ay mayroong normal na chromosome. So, for example, ito ay unaffected, yung father, yan ang kanyang chromosome. Okay? Pero yung nanay niya, for example, let's first try itong siya ay carrier. Carrier yung mother. Kaya kung makikita ninyo, half yung drawing niya. Half is a normal, half is affected. So, for example, yung nanay ay carrier. Okay. So, yung nanay ay carrier. So, let's say, dito siya, isang X chromosome niya ay merong disorder, pero yung isa ay wala. Kasi ang sabi dito ay carrier yung nanay. So, if we're going to do the Punnett square, this is what it will look like. So, it will result to 25% unaffected son. Ibig sabihin, normal yung lalaki. Ito yon, normal na X and Y. It can also there is a 25% possibility na mag-produce siya ng unaffected daughter. Ito yon, unaffected daughter. Ito siya. Ibig sabihin, both of the X chromosomes, wala siyang copy of the disorder. There is also 25% chance na yung magiging anak nila ay isang carrier. Ito yon. Kasi nga sa babae, di ba, they need both copies of the S disorder on both X chromosome para masabing may sakit siya. So dahil isa lang yung copy, ibig sabihin yung daughter carrier siya. Wala siyang sakit pero meron siyang copy ng disorder sa kanyang DNA. Pero meron ding 25% possibility na yung anak niyang lalaki ay magiging affected. So eto yon. Kasi nga, dahil iisa lang ang X chromosome ng lalaki, kahit iisa lang yung copy niya, considered as affected na siya. Okay? So this is the idea of what we call as X-linked recessive. Okay? So I will go to the next slide, which will show specific examples of X-linked recessive disorders. So, okay, so one of the most common example of X-linked recessive disorder is what we call as color blindness. So even if color blindness is carried by the X chromosome, mas madaming lalaki ang actually colorblind. The reason why is because they only need one copy of the colorblind disorder para mag-manifest siya sa lalaki. So for example, hold on, let me annotate. For example, yung tatay ay isang, anong tawag dito? Isang normal na, okay tayo. Okay, so yung tatay, for example, ay normal. Tapos yung babae din ay normal. Automatic to, yung anak nila, normal din. Pero pag yung lalaki ay isang colorblind carrier, colorblind, tapos yung babae ay normal, ay, pangit na. Sorry. So yung babae ay normal, yung lalaki ay colorblind. Chances are, yung anak niyang babae is either normal, yung anak niyang babae ay carrier. So even if they are carrier, normal side pa din sila. Pero yung kanyang anak na lalaki ay normal. Sorry. Bakit nga ba X? Sorry. Okay. So normal pa rin yung lalaking anak niya. Kasi yung X chromosome comes from the mother. Yung Y chromosome comes from the father. So, okay lang din. So, lalaktaw lang siya. Okay? Pero pag yung katulad kanina, saan ba ako pwedeng magsulat? Kung katulad kanina na yung nanay ay carrier, kapag yung nanay ay carrier na, most likely yung anak na lalaki ay already suffering from color blindness. So, this is carrier mom. Yung lalaki or yung father is normal. So, ang mangyayari dyan, carrier daughter, normal daughter, affected son, normal son. Okay, so ito na siya, 25% na magkaroon, or 1/4, 1 in 4 chances na yung anak na magiging colorblind. So because of this, if you will see, most of the time, ang babae ay is either carrier lang or sila ay normal. Pero ang lalaki is either affected sila or they are normal. Okay, so sabi nga dito, most of people suffering from this disorder are actually male. Okay, because male only have one X chromosome. So if meron na silang one copy of the disorder, automatic they are suffering from it. Another example here is what we call as your hemophilia. When it comes to hemophilia kasi, this is excessive bleeding. May problem when it comes to their blood na kapag nagkasugat, hindi agad nagkakaroon ng blood clotting. So, ang nangyayari, kung ang normal na tao na sugatan in just a few minutes or in a few hours, hindi na siya nagbi-bleed kasi nagkaroon na ng clotting doon sa sugat. Pero pagdating sa mga tao na merong hemophilia, ang nangyayari sa kanila is kahit araw na yung lumipas, hindi pa magaling yung sugat kasi hindi pa nagkakaroon ng blood clotting. Okay? So again, it is carried by the X chromosome. Pero ang lalaki is either a normal male or an affected male. So it's either healthy sila or meron silang hemophilia. Whereas sa babae, meron silang tatlong options. It's either may sakit ka, or carrier ka, or healthy ka. And most of the time, ang mga babae is a carrier or healthy. Okay? So sabi nga dito, unable to clot. Yan yung problem ng mga taong may hemophilia. Yung kanilang mutation is in the production of the proteins that is needed for the clotting of injuries. So yung picture dito, ang nangyari dito is nagkaroon ng internal bleeding. So nasa loob yung sugat. So hindi siya nagka-clot sa loob hanggang sa nagkaroon na ng swelling sa ayan. So most of the time, mataas yung risk factor ng mga when it comes to the fatality of people with hemophilia. Kasi pag may sugat ka, you are at risk of infection. Also, you are at risk of bleeding to death. Lalo na nung unang panahon na hindi ganun ka-advanced yung kanilang technology when it comes to treating injuries. So pagka onting sugat lang or yung mga babae dati pag nanganganak tapos they are suffering from hemophilia, pwede na silang mag-bleed to death by just giving birth. Okay? So, may picture dito ni Queen Victoria of England because very famous yung kanyang family. Queen Victoria is the ancestor of the current Queen, Queen Elizabeth II of England right now. Not England actually, United Kingdom. So, siya yung monarch nila. Parang lola niya to. Hindi lang lola, pero lola sa tuhod or parang 5th or 6th generation na yung nakalipas. So, marami siyang anak. Actually, Queen Victoria has like, I think, a dozen of children. Pero, I think more than 2 dun sa mga anak niya ang namatay na or putol na yung kanilang bloodline because of hemophilia. Fortunately, yung line nila Queen Elizabeth II is one of those lucky bloodlines na sila yung napunta doon sa healthy or hindi carrier, hindi sila affected. So they are the healthy bloodline. So they were able to continue. So for how many generations, yung crown was passed from them. And the future king and queen of United Kingdom will still come from the line of Queen Elizabeth II. Okay, so that's hemophilia. And then now let's go to what we call as autosomal recessive. So when it comes to autosomal recessive, again, it is passed by the X chromosome. Pero in this case, you only need one copy of the X of the disorder in the X chromosome. So yung ang difference niya kanina doon sa X-linked recessive is that for women, you need 2 copies to be considered as affected. Pero when it comes to autosomal recessive, you only need 1 copy. So ang tinatawag nating magsulat. Okay, so yung tinatawag nating affected is for lalaki, automatic yan, affected agad siya. So for women, you only need 1 copy to be considered as affected by the disease. And then of course, you have the normal male, and then you have the normal female. Okay? Okay. May example, I think, on the next slide. So let's go. Example nito is the Tay-Sachs disease. When it comes to Tay-Sachs is, ang nangyayari kasi is, nag-accumulate yung fats or lipids in the brain. Kasi when it comes to Tay-Sachs, ang mutation nila is that they are not able to digest and to completely break down yung mga fatty acids na kinakain. So because it is accumulating in the brain, there comes a saturation point doon sa ating brain na hanggang doon lang yung kaya niyang um, amount na nandun sa loob ng brain natin. Pag sumobra na siya doon, then hindi na siya kaya ng katawan. So very fatal itong disease na to. A lot of people, they do not live to grow old if they have Tay-Sachs disease. Namamatay sila ng after a few years. And before dying, they have a lot of complications such as blindness, brain damage, kasi mataas na yung pressure pag dumami yung fatty deposits in our brain. Tumataas yung pressure, sumisikip yung nasa loob ng brain. So it can cause brain damage. And yun nga sabi, it causes death in the first few years of life. So usually childhood pa lang, 2 years old, 3 years old, siguro matagal na yung 7 years old, and then they already die. They really do not reach adulthood. Um, Very rare, or it's not possible for people with Tay-Sachs disease to reach adulthood. Another example of autosomal recessive is what we call as cystic fibrosis. This time naman, yung katawan is producing excess mucus. Okay? There are certain parts in our body where mucus is actually produced. Most of them is in our respiratory system, such as your nose at saka yung dito sa throat. And then in other, the genitalia, the parts of the body such as the penis and the vagina, it produces mucus din. Okay? So, ang nangyayari dito is sobra-sobra yung napoproduce niya na mucus. So, very common for people with cystic fibrosis to suffer from respiratory problems. Kasi sobra-sobra yung mucus niya sa throat, or sobra-sobra yung mucus nila on the, what do you call this, doon sa kanilang lungs. So most of them have difficulty breathing, or nagkakaroon na yung tinatawag na tubig sa baga. Okay? So ang nangyayari dito is accumulation or excessive accumulation of mucus in the digestive tract, and mostly sa lungs. That's why it's causing them difficulty in breathing. Compared to Tay-Sachs, survival rate when it comes to cystic fibrosis is a bit higher. Mas mataas yung chance that they reach adulthood even if they have cystic fibrosis. Yun nga lang, it can also be deadly, lalo na pagka sobra-sobra na yung water at nagkaroon na ng mucus sa loob ng lungs. So, by that time, nagkakaroon na ng other complications. Pero as long as na-maintain at wala pang, ang tawag dito, hindi pa nakapasok yung mucus or yung tubig daw sa baga, okay pa, hindi pa sila ganon ka deadly. So, mas mataas ang survival rate ng cystic fibrosis. Okay? And then, of course, we have what we call as autosomal dominant. So, autosomal dominant, automatic yan. You only need one copy of the disorder for you to be considered as affected. And when it comes to autosomal dominant, it can be carried by the X chromosome, and it can also be carried by the Y chromosome. So, for example, sa males, this is already affected. The same if the disorder is in the Y chromosome, this is already affected. When it comes to women, this is already affected because it is autosomal dominant. So it's either you are affected or you are normal. Because when it comes to autosomal dominant, you only need one copy of the gene. So, dito sa example natin, yung father ay affected, ibig sabihin, father is this, and then the woman is unaffected. So, siya ay normal. So, this is the possible outcome. Ano siya nagkaroon ng affected son? Is it in the Y? Wait, let's check. Kung nasa Y siya, dapat wala siyang affected daughter. Okay, anyway, so you only need one copy of this gene for you to be affected by the disease. Okay? Ang example niya is the Huntington's disease. Hindi ko na clear. Okay, so the Huntington's disease, so in this case, ang kanyang, wait, lakihan natin. Ayan. Yan. Okay. So, ang kanyang keyword or legend is that yung may big letter H, this is considered as the gene with Huntington. Ito siya. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, if this is the father, ibig sabihin siya ay affected. Nagawa ko. If this is the father, yung father ay affected. And yung woman or the mother is normal. So the possibility is that they will have a daughter that is affected, a daughter that is not affected, a son that is affected, and a daughter that is normal. So 25% na female pero affected, 25% na male and still affected, and then 25% na female na normal, and then 25% na male who is also normal. So, yan yung example ng autosomal dominant. So, let me zoom out of this and show you what we call as the pedigree. So, yung pedigree na to, ibig sabihin, it is an analysis of the genes from one generation to another. So, if this is the first generation, yung lolo at lola, okay, yung kanyang, pagbilog kasi in the pedigree, it means this is the female. So, yung kanyang mother is suffering from the disease, Huntington. Okay. So, yung female is suffering from the disease, Huntington, whereas yung father is a normal male. Wait lang ah. Gamitin natin yung age. Kanina pa ako nasa colorblind. Okay. So, this is the big letter H and this is the small letter H. Pagdating sa tatay, siya ay normal. So, ayan yan. Okay? So, nagkaroon sila ng 4 na anak, 2 lalaki, at 2 babae. So, anong nangyari dun sa kanilang anak? Yung kanyang anak na lalaki is affected by the Huntington's disease. Yung babae din is affected by the Huntington's disease. Yung lalaki ay normal, yung isang babae ay normal. So, yung normal na anak here, nung siya ay nag-asawa, chances are yung anak niya ay also normal. Pero dahil ito, yung lalaki ay, tawag dito, suffering from Huntington's disease, chances are yung anak din niya ay merong Huntington's disease. So ito yung tinatawag natin, or ito yung idea that some of these are actually inherited from parent to offspring. Ganon din yung kaninang hemophilia, inherited din yon. So, ayan yung tinatawag nating mga sex-linked disorder. So, herited po, nai-inherit siya, pero it depends on what kind of sex-linked disorder siya. Pagka X-linked recessive, chances are nai-inherit ng lalaki, pero mababa yung chance of inheriting the disease sa mga babae. Pagka autosomal recessive, medyo equal na yung chances of male and female of inheriting the disease. The same when it comes to autosomal dominant, medyo equal na yung chances na nai-inherit siya ng babae at lalaki because they only need one copy of the gene. Okay? So that is the end of our discussion for the sex-linked disorder. So again, prepare yourself, read ulit yung nandoon sa link na binigay ko. You can read the book that we are using for the school year. You can rewatch this video for a lot of times. You can even watch videos on YouTube. Meron akong sinend na link. Just log into your site, LMS account. Nandoon yung mga videos na pwede ninyong panoorin to help you prepare for the quiz. Again, the quiz will be on Tuesday, November 17 at 10 a.m. So it is an online quiz. I will be giving the link sa inyong group chat and then I will tell you how long you can take the quiz and then after that, I will give you your score. So again, ingat sa paparating na bagyo. Be alert, be vigilant, and always be prepared. Yan lang and see you next